Hello and welcome to Quick Start to Coding with Swift. Please may I introduce my co-host, Matt. Matt Hanlon is a long-time software developer, coach, teacher and dad in Ireland.
Thanks, Steve. And may I introduce Steve Bunce, an author, teacher, associate lecturer, and dad in the northeast of England.
Thanks, Matt. We have an exciting session for you all today. Today we're learning about algorithms, where you follow a series of instructions precisely to try and solve a problem. We're going to learn using Swift Playgrounds and our character Byte. We're going to use commands such as moveForward and turnLeft to try and solve our problem. So we're both excited. Let's get started. Hello. Welcome to our Unplugged part of the session. We call this Unplugged because we're not going to use any technology in this part. What we're actually going to use is paper. So, what you'll need is we're going to take a piece of paper and we're going to cut this into a square. Okay? So, get your piece of paper and you can cut it into a square. To do that, what you can do is you can fold the page over all the way up to the side until it's nice and square, and when that reaches the side you can flatten that out. Okay, and when you have done that, when you've folded that over like that, you can cut across here knowing that that's a square. Okay, so we can say let's get rid of that bit. You could use a paper cutter or you could use scissors. The idea being is we want a nice neat square to start with. Okay, so with our piece of paper we're going to cut off this piece so we've got just a square left. Okay, so here I have my square which I'm going to use today. But what are we going to use it for? Well, today we're thinking about algorithms and about the steps you would take to do something, and following instructions is really important. So what we're going to make is one of these. This is a little paper dancer, and you can see arms up, arms down, both arms down, one leg up and two legs up. Okay, so it's a way of making a little animated character by drawing on the pages. We've folded the pages, and the character I've got on here is actually Byte, and we're going to be meeting Byte soon in the Swift Playgrounds. Okay, so here's Byte, arms up, arms down, arm up, down, down. We're going to make one like that, okay? So let's have a look. I shall put you over there, Byte. Here is our piece of paper. So what we're going to do to start with is we're going to fold it from corner to corner. So fold it from corner to corner. Okay. And get that out as neatly as you can. Okay. And I'm going to open it up and fold it from corner to corner again. Okay, so from corner to corner and from corner to corner. And what you'll see is later on, this helps us when we're trying to make those other folds. Okay, so we shall now open it out. Once it is opened out, we're now going to fold it in half the other way now. So we have two corners together. So can you hear? I'm telling you some instructions, and if you follow those instructions carefully, then we'll be able to follow this algorithm and we'll be able to make the shape we want. So there is us folding in half. Again, I'm going to open it out. Okay, I'm now going to fold the side in to the middle. So right up to where we had our crease in the middle, I'm going to fold in that side, and I'm then going to turn it around and do the same again. So turn it around, fold the side in to the middle. There we go. So we've done quite a few folds so far, haven't we? And remember, the more accurately you can do it and the more precise, the better. Lovely. Now we can turn it 90 degrees and we're going to fold it in half again. So let's fold this in half, getting those corners together and creasing it out. Right, now open it up, and again we're going to get the edges. So can you see we're repeating some instructions here? We're doing those again. We're folding this side into the middle, and we'll do that again from the other side. So what we've done is we've taken our square and we now have a smaller square. There. Okay. So this is the difficult step. I think this is the most tricky step that we have. What we do is we grab the corner. So if you can see just inside, there's the corner of the original piece of paper. I'm going to grab that with my fingers and pull it sideways. And hopefully you can see how the paper folds out, and then you can squash that down like that. Okay, tricky step. We're going to repeat that now on the other side. So again, grab the corner of the piece of paper, pull it sideways, and then I'm just going to flatten that down there. And that's where our first steps of folding the paper from corner to corner just helps with those creases. Alright, we've got a little house with a roof on. And we're going to repeat that on the other side here. So here we're going to grab the corner, pull it out so those points meet, and then squash it down. And last one, grab the corner, pick it up, pull it out, and squash it down. Brilliant. Okay, so we now have this large hexagon, and on here we're going to start drawing our picture. Now I drew a picture of our character Byte, and this took me quite a while to draw this shape and colour it in, and you can certainly do that. Maybe after this session you can spend some more time and you can draw a picture. But let's keep it simple for this one. I'm going to have a very simple dancer. It could be, let's see, just a circle for a head will do today. Or an oval really, isn't it? There's an oval. A rectangle for the body. Okay. And back up there. And then for the arms and legs, I'm going to keep it really simple. So I'm going to draw a line up for one arm and just an oval on the end for the hand. And again from this shoulder, a line up from this side and an oval on the hand there. Oval hand there. And for the legs, let's just do straight down again, and we'll do a large oval for some pointy toes there. And same here, straight down and a large oval there. Alright, now there we are, pretty simple. Now hang on, let's put on some eyes. Some eyes there, and a nose, and a big smiling face. That's better. Okay, there is our dancer ready to go. So next we need to have a look and see how we can fold the page and make it different. So I'm going to pick up this side, this leg, and I'm going to fold it over sideways like that. Now what I can do is I can complete the body again and put a leg going, this time out to the side, whoop, and draw our foot on the end there. And on this side again I can do the same. I can pick up this leg, fold it over, and let's finish off the body again and draw a leg out to the side there, and our foot. There we go. So far we can have legs going from down and legs going out to the side like that. Let's repeat that now for the arms. So with the arms, I can pull this arm down over here, and you can see I need to complete my head again. Put on an eye, finish the nose, finish the smile, and just put the body back on. Now don't worry if it's not accurate and precisely accurate here. You can spend some more time later maybe redoing this and making a really nice one. There's our hand coming up to the side. And last one, pull this one down there. pull this down, and there is our last part. Let's finish off the head again. Put on an eye, put on a nose, and finish that smile. Okay, lovely. So there is our character, and there is our last arm. Ooh, coming over here. There we go. So, very simply, here is our dancer with arms up, legs down. Here is our dancer with one leg up, two legs up, two arms up, and then finally we can put the arms down like that. So we've made a paper dancer. You've followed some instructions to make this into an algorithm, and those algorithms, the instructions, if you follow them precisely, then you'll get some sort of dancer like this. You'll follow this and you'll make a dancer with this different shape. But don't forget, you can make your own ones. You can make one like Byte, and you could use sort of colours and whatever shape you want, or choose your favourite video game character or your favourite pop star. Whoever it is that you want to use, you can choose. Okay? So follow those instructions and just see what happens. See if you can make your own paper dancer.
Hey there. Great stuff, Steve.
Thanks, Matt. Well, we're so thrilled this morning to be making our paper dancers and learning about code. And this morning we're going to be met by, and we're going over live to Norway. Hello, Norway, and hello, Anakin.
Hello.
Hello, guys.
Good morning, everybody. Have you been making some paper dancers that we could have a look at, please?
Yes, we have. You want to show your paper dance, sir?
Oh, lovely. Fantastic. Some good dancing there.
Katrina, you want to show your?
Oh, wow. Look, a minion. Oh, it's a strange octopus type minion. Alien. Brilliant. Love it. I love the way you've joined all of it together so accurately.
Yeah. Can we go to Malin?
Oh.
Oh, very cool.
Yes, I like it. Oh, and some flowers as well.
Yeah.
Yes. Very good. Very, very good. Oh, interesting.
Not quite done.
Yeah, that's very good. But good folding. I can see there's some accurate paper folding going on and folding the algorithm. Yeah, lovely. Arms up. Perfect. And arms
nice.
down.
Some bendy arms.
Very good. Back.
You want to see some more, or?
Well, the one which you had the bones on was interesting too. So shall we see the one
bones,
with the
yeah.
bones? Yes. So this is an interesting idea. Look, so it is different on the inside to the outside. That is wonderful. Thank you so much, Anakin.
Pretty good, guys. All right.
Brilliant.
Well, we're going to take some of those lessons because these guys have done a lot of work with step by step. We're actually going to do the same thing over with coding now. So what we're going to do is we're on our iPad. We've been working off of the Quick Start to Code PDF, which you can get from Apple. We'll have a link to it in the video below to have a check. But we're following through this week 5 days of the Quick Start to Code. Today is all about meeting Byte. So we're going to go over to Swift Playgrounds. Hopefully you have the free app downloaded on your iPad already. We're going to open it up. If you don't see it in here in your list of playgrounds, we can always go down to More Playgrounds, hit See All. And we're going to be working through Learn to Code 1 today. So you would just tap the Get button. It'll download Learn to Code 1. I'm actually going to open up the playground that I already have. And Steve showed us a lot about commands. We had to follow a set of instructions to build an origami paper dancer. So we do kind of similar things when we're talking about coding. we can liken it to baking a cake and following a recipe, or maybe following instructions about how to build something, or even sending someone directions and saying, well, this is how you get here. First, you go down the street and then you take a left. Now, we need to make sure that we follow those instructions faithfully. Otherwise, we might not get what we expected. Our cake might not taste so good, which would be a tragedy. Or our drone, in this case, might lose a propeller. So we spend a lot of time trying to figure out what's the order in which things have to happen for our code to solve the puzzle and the problem that we want to solve. And we're going to send Byte. This is Byte, our character, who we're going to send around a little puzzle world to try to solve puzzles, collect gems, toggle switches, and perform a bunch of other actions. And the way we'll get Byte to perform those actions is by giving Byte commands, like moveForward. This kind of funky looking command. Now, it looks a little bit like the English words move forward. They're just mashed together. The F in forward is capitalized. We have no space. And we've got parentheses at the end. Same thing with this other command, collect gem. They look a little bit different, but similar to what we're used to in English. This is just called the syntax. And when we're coding, syntax matters. We have to be very explicit when we're talking to the machine, in this case, the iPad, through Swift. We need to use these parentheses to tell Swift that, look, this is a command. Someone has already written a command called collect gem. So now I can call that command, and Swift will perform whatever action someone's defined when I call that command. So that's all good to talk about it, but let's start coding and let's actually try it out. So here we go. We're in our very first playground page. We can see over here is where we add our code. This is where we can tap to enter our code over here. This side over here is where our puzzle is going to show up. We have the name of the page that we're on up here. A couple of arrows to navigate through pages in our playground. And we'll show you some of the other features of the playground in a second. But here's Byte. Now, you may be hearing some noise from your playground. You can always turn that off by tapping on this sound button up here and turning off background music and sound effects if you want it a little quieter. Otherwise, they can be kind of fun. You can also tap anywhere on Byte's puzzle world and drag around to explore the puzzle and figure out what steps you need to perform to solve this puzzle. Now, our goal here, it says, is to use Swift commands to tell Byte to move and collect a gem. So when we tap here to enter code, we have our code appear down here in the autocomplete bar. So what we need to do is, using these two commands, a combination of them, we need to solve this puzzle. So I'm going to give you a bit of time to try to solve this puzzle. So here we've got Byte. We have a few steps we need to take until we get to that gem. How would you solve it? You can move it around to have a look and examine it from all angles. And you can even play around with it. The really nice thing about coding is that we can try running some of these commands and see what happens. We could try just tapping on collect gem and see what that would do. While you're working on your coding, I'm going to run my code and see what happens. If I collect gem, Byte just jumps and tries to collect a gem. He looks a little bit disappointed because we didn't solve the puzzle. So I'm going to tap on the words collect gem. It highlights in blue, and then I have the option to cut, copy, delete. I'm actually going to delete it because that didn't solve the problem I wanted to solve. So, okay, so hopefully you figured it out. Let's see. I'm going to try moving forward. That'll put me here. I'm going to move forward again. And then I'm going to move forward one more time. So I've moved forward 3 times, and then I'm going to collect the gem at the end of all of that. So let's try running our code by tapping the Run My Code button. And off we go. We'll move forward once, move again, under the gem, and we collected the gem. Did your code do that? So at the end, we get a little congratulations message. We have some words here highlighted in blue, whereas if we tap on them, it'll explain to us what those words mean. So what commands mean, what Swift is. And then we have a link here where we can go to the next page. So let's tap next page. So now there's been a new command added that we can call. Before we only had two commands. We had collect gem and we had move forward. Now we have turn left added, which is helpful because I don't think we could solve this puzzle with just those commands. So here, let's give you another minute to try to solve this while we talk through it a little bit. Now, if you get stuck when you're trying to solve this, so if I say, okay, well, move forward twice, I'll do that because I'm familiar with the move forward command. I can see my turn left command has been added. I'm just going to move forward twice. You keep working through your solution. And then if I run my code and it doesn't succeed, or even if I don't run my code, you can see that in a lot of these playground pages, we have a hint button down here. So we can tap on hint. And I can see from these three dots that I have more than just one hint. And it tells me that, remember, I need to use the new command, turn left, to reach the gem. So I can swipe through and find more hints. So the move forward command moves Byte forward only one tile. So one thing I noticed is that these steps count as part of the tile. So maybe I was miscounting before. All right, did you solve it? Let's try. So we've got move forward. At this stage, I want to turn left. And then I'll be facing this way. I like turning the playground around so I can make sure I know where I'm looking. I want to move forward twice. And then I want to collect the gem because I should be under the gem. So let's try that out. We'll hit run my code. And we'll watch Byte go. Here we go, up the steps, turn left. We're going to move forward. And we collected the gem. Great. That's our second playground page down that we've completed the puzzle. We've added a new command to our repertoire. So let's go tap on this button to go to the next page. So far we have three commands. We have turn left, we have collect gem, and we have move forward. Now we have a new element on the screen here. It's called a switch. So they can be either open or closed. And we have a new command called toggle switch, as defined here. So if I tap on my place to enter code, I can see that now I have 4 commands that I can use to solve this puzzle. So let's give you another minute and we'll try working through this. How are you going to solve this? Now I find that when I'm solving puzzles where I have a physical world to move around like this, I either move the puzzle myself and try to follow along. Maybe I get up out of my chair and I think about turning left or moving forward. Ideally collecting gems if you have a lot of gems lying around. I like that. Mrs. Smith class says that they're solving this in different ways. And there are loads of different ways you could solve these puzzles. You could send Byte on a tour of the entire island and then come back and toggle the switch and collect the gem if you want. In programming, there's usually more than one way to solve a problem. All right, so let's see. I'm going to start out probably by moving forward. Moving forward again. That should put us about here, because remember the stairs count as part of that tile. Then I want to turn left. Then I want to move forward. I should be about here, so we try collecting the gem there. If you've solved it and you've got the steps, feel free to post them in the chat. Then we're going to move forward again. We're going to move forward again. Then we'll turn left. And then we'll move forward and try toggling the switch. Let's run that. We're going to hit run my code. And off Byte goes down the steps to the bottom. Oh, we turn left. We collect the gem. Go forward. Oh my gosh, I almost sent him off the edge. We turn left, we move forward, and we toggled the switch. Oh dear, we have a small bug in our code. Can you spot it? So one way I could spot it is if I go over here to the speedometer, I have a few different options. If I've got it down and I want to run my code as fast as I can, I would choose run fastest. Now, that's not going to help me because my code isn't working right now. So if I run it fastest or if I run it really slow, it doesn't matter. But what I want to do, one thing I could do is if I step through my code, we'll see a really nice feature of Swift Playgrounds. So I'm going to do step through my code. And we'll see that each line gets highlighted as I run it. So I can see where I go wrong. There I collect gem, I move forward. Ah, that's where I run into trouble. I tried to move forward too early. So I'm going to tap on that. I'm actually going to choose the select as text option. And I'm going to delete all of this. So I'm going to drag down and then just hit the delete key. See the delete key down here? Hit the delete key. So when I was at this move forward, I probably should have turned left then. And then moved forward once. I'd be there. Move forward again. And then I'm going to toggle the switch. I really like that go slower option because it lets you see which piece of code is being run. So let's try that again. We're going to step through our code. So there we go. We're moving forward again, turning left, moving forward, collecting the gem, turning left, up the steps we go, toggle switch. Perfect. That's a great way to get through our code, is to watch Swift as it looks at each line and says, okay, I have to run this command now. I have to run the next command. That's a really good way to slow it down and make sure that you're going through the steps properly. Because just like with our origami paper dancers, we have to make sure that we follow the steps in order. Otherwise, we might send Byte over the edge. We won't toggle the switch. We won't collect the gem. And we won't get this great message at the end that says, fantastic, we did it. Now, a few other things to note. If for some reason your autocomplete isn't coming up, and we can type these commands in ourselves too. So we can go bring up the keyboard by tapping on this caret here. It'll bring up the keyboard. And when I start typing, if I want Byte to move forward, I can start typing M-O. I'll have the autocomplete bar. But if I say I don't want the autocomplete bar, I want to type it myself, and I type move forward, the way I get the parentheses is I can tap on J and drag down to the right. And it'll actually insert both parentheses for me. But I have a small problem now. Can anyone spot it? So if I tap on the red dot, this actually won't let me run my playground. So I get this kind of cryptic error message saying, use of unresolved identifier, move forward. Well, all that's saying is that Swift doesn't know what to do when you tell it to move forward. It's like if we typed in turn right, there is no turn right command yet. And you notice I'm using my capital letter for my R because it's a new word that's called camel case because it looks like a camel. Now I have two red dots, so not only do I have one problem, I have two problems. If I tap on the turn right, it gives me the same message saying use of unresolved identifier turn right. Because it knows nothing about the turn right command yet. That's all that means. Now the move forward one we can fix because it does know about a command called move forward with a capital F. So we have to be very careful and pay attention to the case that we use because Swift cares a lot about the case. We have to be very explicit when we talk to Swift. So if I get really stuck and I say, do you know, I don't know how to fix any of these errors, we have a get out of jail free card. We can always go up to these three dots here, tap on them, And then down here, there's this great item called Reset Page. If I tap on Reset Page, it'll say, are you sure you want to do this? You're going to get rid of all your code. That's okay. I've made a huge mess of things. I'm going to hit Reset. It'll delete all my code, and I can start over from scratch. So you never have to stress that much about whether or not you've done the right thing or not, or if you've gotten it in a really horrible state. We can always use this safety net and reset the entire page and start from scratch. That's what I love about Swift Playgrounds. You can make a ton of mistakes, and all programmers make mistakes, even professional ones. And you can start with a blank page. It's a great way to go, because then we can reset our brains and say, all right, well, how would we solve this page again? Whatever I did last time didn't work. Let me restart. So those are our commands. That's our introduction to commands. Of course, during the week, we're going to get into a lot more coding and get very, very fancy and show you a ton of interesting tools that we use as programmers to interact with the machines. All right, so let's go back to Norway. Hey, guys.
Oh,
Hello.
hello.
Now
So
you,
while Matt's been talking, I've been watching your class doing their coding, and I have been very, very, very impressed. They have been not only doing some great coding, but also they have been translating. The app there is in English. They've been translating from English into Norwegian to be able to work out the code. So they've been solving the problems as well.
Yeah, they have.
So please could we see some of their screens and see what they have been doing?
Yeah.
Jeg er klar. Nej, det er ikke noget.
Brilliant. And could we ask, what did they find easiest?
What did you find easiest? Loops.
loops. Oh, good. That's good. Great tool.
Maybe the functions.
And the functions.
Functions will be fun. You guys this is a preview of what we're going to be looking at tomorrow with our coding is functions. That'll be a ton of fun.
And what has been the hardest part so far?
Hva har vært det vanskeligste?
Not sure.
Maybe getting in on the first try.
Getting it on the first try, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes there's a lot of trial and error. Even with professional programmers, sometimes we have to do things a few times before we get it right.
Yes. And is this the first time that you have been using Swift Playgrounds?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. And can you see that this is the Swift Playgrounds is in the Swift language, and that is the language which we make apps with?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive that you're using the same language that you'd use to make, your favorite apps, whether they're Angry Birds or TikTok or what have you. It's pretty impressive that that's what you're writing code with now.
That is brilliant. And so hopefully we can see that making the paper dancers was following some instructions, and we followed those instructions, and we saw some lovely examples earlier. And then the same is here. As you are following the instructions, you are creating code. Now we can see on this Swift Playground, we can see we have a different character. That is not Byte. Do they think you could explain how they changed the character, please?
Oh, you just press the character
Uh-huh.
and then you can choose.
Pretty cool. And is Hopper your favorite?
Wow. There we go. There we go. Fantastic. And that character is called Hopper. And that was named after Grace Hopper, who was a great female problem solver and programmer.
Cool.
That is brilliant. I like the way you have dark mode.
Yeah, the other guys have light mode.
Yes, you have modified it to make it comfortable for you. Very good. Anakin, we were so impressed with your class this morning. We've been so impressed by their paper folding and their wonderful paper dancers.
Thank you.
And we are so impressed with you and your class and the way they have used the Swift Playgrounds to code this morning.
Yeah,
So-
I think they like it. So
Yes.
yeah.
That's cool.
And we are amazed that this is their first time. What are your plans to do next?
No, we have to try this some more and figuring out new steps to get the jam.
That's great. You're well on the road. Those guys are blazing ahead. So that's excellent. That's really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And will there be more classes using the Swift Playgrounds?
Yeah, we have 3 classes on this 9th grade, and this is one of them, and we're gonna use it on the 2 others later this week.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah,
And I'm sure you have some of your students can help other students too.
of course. Yeah, they are helping each other now. So how do you do this? And they show each other. So that's good.
That's perfect. That's
Brilliant.
if you can do that as a coder, it helps you out because it's much better to work with 2 brains than just the one. So that's perfect.
So
We hope to
would
do
like to
this
say-
in other subjects as well. Help
Yeah.
each other. So
Oh yes.
Yeah.
And did you say, Anakin, that this was a maths lesson you are doing this in?
yeah,
That is brilliant. That you are learning this within a maths lesson too.
yeah. So we're gonna
Fantastic.
code in math and science. So
Brilliant. And that makes it much stronger links with those other subjects.
yeah.
Very good. So we would like to say tack.
Tack ska du ha.
Thank you for all of your help this morning. And thank you to all of your students.
Kan dere si ha det?
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. You're on your
Say
way.
bye.
You guys are coders of the future.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.